Hello, everybody, and a happy Monday to you on this day before the election. I hope you go out and vote, no matter how you want to vote. Just please vote. We picked the brain of longtime friend and political expert Dave Bryan. He has a lot to say. It's a long interview, so I'll just shut up and let you listen to it and hope you enjoy. This is all his fault. I mean, he has nobody to blame but himself for a recall vote.
In many senses, yes. Yeah, in a large way, I do. I think you're right. And I think that little party that they had up in Northern California, while he was telling everyone else to, lock the doors and don't go out and wear masks, and that did not go over very well. And the timing on it couldn't have been worse for him, But it was. Come on, you can't do that. But a lot of these politicians, Democrat, Republican, and all the others, they think they're better than everybody. They know better. I'll get away with that. Don't even worry about it. Mm-hmm. That's how they operate.
Yeah, there'll be 4 or 5 days in the paper, and then it'll go away.
That's right. That really, more than I believe, more than anything else, any single act or any single thing that happened, that was what really, really drove the Republican campaign on this, and really hurt Newsom.
Will there be a certain number of people that vote that say, you know what, I don't like Elder, I don't like any of the Republicans, but Newsom screwed this up so much, I'm going to vote to recall him just because I'm ticked at him?
Oh yeah, and I think some Democrats probably feel that way. Not a huge number, but I do think some probably do.
Does this hurt him down the road? Now, there's no place he can go in California unless he appoints himself the senator if Dianne Feinstein leaves. But that's highly unlikely. But, he had visions of being a president one day, running for president.
That's right.
Is that over now?
I'm not sure if it's over, but let me just say it's a warning. Okay, it's a warning. You need to really play right straight down the line here. Okay, any more of this kind of stuff that fed into what happened with him, he can't afford to have another incident like that.
I have never seen such division, such anger, and such hatred.
It's because both parties, in some respects, have moved, to the left and to the right very far. Particularly Republicans, more so.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Dave, but gone are the days where you had the statesman who was either a Republican or a Democrat would get together with the party in power.
That's right.
As a group, and they would say,
That's
look,
right.
we agree. We let's agree to disagree.
Yeah.
But for the good of the country, for the good of the nation, let's work out some kind of deal.
Yeah.
Statesmanship.
That's right. Back in the day, they would argue and slam things down, and then they go out and have a drink together afterwards. So there was some sort of some unity there. They certainly didn't agree on most issues, but they found a way to work it out, that's gone now. Yeah, that's gone now, and that's hurting Joe Biden.
All of this turmoil, all of this divisiveness, because of a vaccine that works and masks.
Yeah.
I mean, is there any end?
There doesn't appear to be right now, and I have to say, I don't want to be ultra dramatic about this because that's not what I'm like, but I think it's really hurting democracy. I think it's really taking a toll. There are already people here in California saying it's rigged. It's rigged. They've got it rigged. They're already looking at they're looking at the ballots already. They know. They're cooking this up already.
Yeah.
I mean, not one vote has been counted.
Right.
And they're already, so I mean, it's cooked.
There's even talk that if Newsom beats the recall, a certain segment of those who are for the recall are going to storm the Capitol in Sacramento.
Yeah.
I mean, does it ever end?
No, apparently not. I mean, and it's very dangerous. It's very dangerous because, as you indicated, this country is just moving further and further and further apart. And what you brought up with the pandemic is a perfect example of it. There were at least 5 or 6 Southern Republican governors who are just slamming the table and outraged and just firing people up about vaccines, about having vaccinations. It's unbelievable.
If Elder wins, He says vaccine mandates are out.
Of course.
Mask mandates are out.
Yeah, that's right.
Which some people want to hear.
Yes, that's right.
The question now
That's
is...
absolutely right.
The question is, are there enough there
Yeah,
who are going to vote that way?
that's right.
Duke Majan ran against Tom Bradley. Would have become the first black man to become governor. All the polls in 1982 showed him ahead. I mean,
Yes.
he was up by 5 to 7 points.
That's right.
Remember that?
Yes, yeah,
And he lost.
yeah. So it can happen.
Oh, yeah. And people said, they asked people afterward,
Yeah,
they said, why did you tell us, the pollsters, that you were going to vote for Bradley and you didn't?
yeah,
And most of the answer was, this is 1982, because when I was alone in that polling booth, I just couldn't bring myself to vote for a black man.
yeah.
Remember that?
Yes, yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So the question
right.
here is, will people say, I'm telling you I'm going to vote for Newsom to stay in office, but when I got in that polling booth, or when I filled out that paper, I was so angry with him, what was going on,
Yeah,
I went the other way.
yeah. And I do think, in addition to that, I think there is a possibility that with all of these stories and reports now that, oh, Newsom's ahead by 10% now, I think, that, again, raises the possibility that a lot of Democrats will just say, it's over with. I don't need to bother. I'm not going to go, forget about it. Let's go get dinner.
Yeah.
It all depends on the turnout. It really does. I mean, there's no question about it. And I think there were some factors in the last month or so that really changed things in favor of Newsom.
Larry Elder entered the race, became the front runner. People goes, holy mackerel, we can't have this guy win. All of a sudden, they get energized against him for Newsom.
I think that was the biggest boost to the Newsom campaign, Larry Elder joining and becoming the front runner. That was the biggest boost, I think, for Democrats. That really got Democrats fired up. Of all the people, of all the Republicans, no one, I don't think, could have gotten the Democrats more fired up than Larry Elder.
Yeah, and of course, the advantage of the Democrats, they can go back 25 years,
Sure.
and everything's on tape.
He's got a record.
Yeah,
and he's got lots of statements that he made over those 25 years.
Right.
And the Democrats are taking full advantage of it.
Is there any chance then, any chance at all, that Newsom loses?
Well, the only chance is if a lot of Democrats say, oh, Newsom's 10 points ahead. We don't need to bother. Let's go get dinner or something instead.
So they don't vote.
If enough Democrats don't vote, then yes, then I think Larry Elder could. I think that Newsom could be recalled, and Elder could be the one who gets the most votes.
Because I don't think there's any chance that any other Republican is going to catch up to Elder. I mean, the
It
polls,
doesn't look like it.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's what, 26, 27%.
Yeah.
And I think the next one is single digits.
But the Republican Party is not the Republican Party it was when he became mayor of San Diego. I mean, things have really changed,
Totally different.
Yeah.
Is it a Republican Party that would embrace Elder?
Yes. The Republican Party of today?
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. They'd have the celebration like you've never seen before. Absolutely. Because look, you're talking about what's probably the most liberal state in the country, maybe, I mean, pretty close, if not the most liberal. I mean, for a very extremely conservative Republican like Larry Elder to become the governor here,
Yeah.
it would be like a miracle for Republicans.
You think the governor, Newsom, is worried?
I do think that he and his supporters and the people that work on his campaign recognize that they got to really follow through. Even now, even just in the last day or so, they have got to get the Democratic voters out. And remember, everyone got a ballot, right? Everyone got a ballot. And that was, in my opinion, the second biggest bonus for Gavin Newsom, because you don't need to stand in line. Yeah. You don't need to take a day off from work. You don't need to do any of that. Just fill it out and send it in. Boom, done.
You think anybody has said to him, look, this should have never happened? And they've given him big money. I mean, huge money.
Yeah.
Newsom's got a war chest. It's just almost unbelievable.
Yeah.
You think anybody has said to him, look, this should have never happened? If you'd have been doing your job, you hadn't slept, fallen asleep at the switch on certain things.
That's right.
You hadn't gone to that damn restaurant.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you, here's my $5 million, but don't do this again.
Yeah, we're not going to help you the next time, right?
Is that going on? I mean, do you think that's going on at all?
It's hard. I don't really know, but I wouldn't be surprised. I believe that if the people who say they're going to vote actually vote, then I think it's probably going to be. I think it's over. But see, you know, one of the problems for the Democrats in this recall campaign is that. You know, they were not really fired up. Now, recently that seems to have changed. But now with the papers and news saying, oh, you know, he's got a huge lead now, you don't need to worry about it, he's 10% ahead, you know. Okay, now maybe some of the Democrats will say, okay, I don't need to go vote now.
I think he'll beat it.
Yeah,
I think Newsom remains governor. I think he'll beat it.
I think so.
I think it'll be closer than what the polls say. But I also think that there's going to be that segment is going to put up so much of a stink.
Yeah.
We may not know for a while.
Yeah.
Lawsuits, accusations, recount this, recount that.
It's already starting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's already out there. You go online, there's a million different stories about all things that are being done. They're looking at they have the hole in the envelope, right, when you send the ballot in. Well, that allows them to see who, you know, which party. I mean, what are you kidding me? Come on, you know. But I'm serious. That's really out there.
It is crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Crazy. Just think, we get to do this in just a little more than a year, all over again. Newsom. I mean, regardless of what happens to him, I mean, he'll run again. Will Older run again?
You know, I think it's too soon to tell, but I wouldn't be surprised. Mm-hmm. You know, it wouldn't surprise me, not in the least. Yeah. The thing is, though, that, you know, on the other hand, Elder running now, if he loses by a pretty wide margin, it may finally convince some Republicans here in California that it ain't going to work here, not statewide. Right. You know, and we need to have a more moderate Republican. Which there aren't that many around.
I was going to say, give me one. Name me one.
Yeah, at the moment, nothing comes to mind.